Welcome to Your Condo Connection, the CCI video series designed to assist condominium purchasers, owners, and boards. CCI remains committed to bringing you insightful and informative videos to help you with your life as a condominium resident and director. We hope that you'll follow our series and share in the experiences offered by our many expert guests. In this session, we look at a real fundamental question that seems to cause a lot of confusion. What do boards do? And to help us through that is Yehudi Hendler. Yehudi, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now let's see if I get this right. This is always the test for me. So Yehudi, you are the principal of YL Hendler Limited, a property management company, right? You've been a property manager for 38 years you've been in the business?
Years.
Wow. You've a long-time CCI supporter.
Yes.
You're a fellow of the Institute, very prestigious, so it's an honor having you here, and I think that qualifies you as an expert. So Yehudi, let's get into it. We owners never get a chance to sit in on board meetings, and if we're really lucky, we only get to read the redacted or edited minutes. Tell us, what do boards do behind those closed doors?
The board members are elected to manage the affairs of the condominium corporation and run the building. And usually what happens if they have a property management company, a reputable property management company, they delegate their authority. They don't take it away from themselves, but they delegate it. And so this here, we notify them in advance of meetings. When we hold meetings, property management gets all the quotes for various projects to be done. Budgets, we prepare budgets for them, we prepare the contracts for them. It's all for their decision. They make the decisions as to what our recommendations are, and if they don't like it, our recommendation, but they don't have to take it. You know, that's their prerogative. It's their decision making, and so they also set the policies for the condominium corporation. They make decisions with regards to hiring engineers, accountants, legal personnel, in order to make sure that the proper advisors are in place so that they can make the relative proper decisions with regards to any major project, any legal issue. Property managers are not legal experts, and what I tell my boards of directors, I can advise you up to a certain point, but you must go for legal advice. I do not give legal advice. It's not within property management parameters. Some property managers used to do that, but not, I think in this day and age, you just can't do it.
Interesting. So it seems pretty straightforward, but it sounds like a lot too.
Yes.
How would a board and new directors know what to do?
I think if the property manager would present a management report, most property management companies present a management report, and in the report are items for discussion, are items for approval, items that have taken place, so they get a picture of the entire situation and what's happening in the condominium. They get monthly financial statements on an interim basis so that they know what their financial status is, receivables, payables, investments, you know, that type of thing, bank reconciliations. So it's a transparency type of thing because the property managers are the ones that usually perform this function and give it to the board. And some treasurers go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and others just rely on property management. But it's a basis for which they can make decisions on as well, financial decisions especially. And also I normally ask the boards to hire, if they have sufficient lot of funds, to hire a financial advisor, because we're not financial advisors. And you know, they know exactly what they have to do under the Condominium Act, what they can invest in and what they can't. So that's pretty well what happens in, you know, what they should have. And also they should attend CCI courses, which is very important as far as I'm concerned, because I have several condominium corporations that send their directors to the CCI courses to make sure that they understand what their obligations are as well. So with contemplating with the new act, if they enforce that directors have to go to school, it's not a bad idea.
There you go. Yeah, it would seem that if you're managing a multi-million dollar, sometimes tens of millions of dollars worth of property, you should have some background. Well, so it sounds like almost the fourth level of government really is a level of government. You have a board looking after it, much like a town council or
Right.
city council.
Yeah.
And experts are feeding information.
Correct.
Okay, so that helps when you're a new director.
Yes.
You're not out there alone. The question we hear all the time that tends to be very confusing is, what's the difference between a director and the board?
A director is elected by the owners. There are, depending on what the bylaws say, they're either 3, 5, 7. They are one of 3, 5, or 7. They cannot make decisions on their own. All decisions must be made at a board meeting where everybody is together. Conference calls, of course, are allowed so that everybody is in this at the same time on the same thoughts. Proxies are not allowed. You cannot vote a proxy at a board meeting. You must be there. That's in accordance with the Act. So that's where the difference is. The directors must be in one place to make decisions. Again, usually one director, and sometimes, mostly it's the president, who acts as the liaison between property management and the board of directors. And in events of emergency, sometimes you have to act and get some advice or get some okays, and usually that's the president or even property management has to act. We try to solve the situation first, and we worry about who pays or what happened after. So it's a very different type of operation for directors and the board. The board makes the decisions, not the directors. And the directors amongst themselves elect the officers.
Very interesting. So the decisions are a decision of the board,
Correct.
and directors are a member of
Correct.
the board. So the outside of the board meeting, the directors really don't carry any authority
No.
unless assigned.
They're less assigned. They're actually homeowners like you and me, or if you live in a condo, I do. So I'm just a homeowner in a condominium. So I mean, I go to the annual general meeting, but I don't get involved in anything else. I've got enough on my plate that I don't need it. So it's that type of thing.
Well, Yehudi, thanks for sharing your insight with us today. I think that clears up a lot. There is really a distinction between a director and the board. We hope that it helps you understand a little bit more too. Until next time, I'm Murray Johnson, and this has been your Condo Connection.